Hi here, Finns here. I am back for another video. Let's turn this up to 100, baby. Yes, I'm back to do another review of Big Brother 2023 UK, of course, in this country, and another eviction prediction. So before I talk about the recent events of what happened in this week's Big Brother, let's remind ourselves of who got evicted last week. Last week, Henry and Zach were up for the public vote. I predicted Henry would be evicted, and in the end, it was Zach that got evicted. So I was right with Farida getting evicted, but I was wrong about Zach getting evicted, or Henry getting evicted, and it instead was Zach. Um, so, I'm so annoyed, and I was just like, oh, I couldn't decide last week. Hopefully, this week I'm gonna get a bit better on it. So, what has happened this last week? Well, actually, the crowd in the audience of Big Brother for the eviction, actually, somebody must have pumped them up. Get louder, because the launch show and the first eviction, I thought the audience was a bit tame, a bit gentle. They're not like the usual Big Brother audience. Somebody must have pumped them up. Come on, be louder, be stronger. And they called out Kerry to get out, or something like that. Something like that, and it got to Kerry a little bit, even though she wasn't up for eviction that week. So, and it's quite interesting how Kerry has changed this last week. She hasn't been as loud and hasn't thrown so many tantrums this week. Is interesting. So she's definitely calmed down and been the mother of the house, that's for sure. What else has happened this week? Well, the shopping task happened, and they were all ants, and they were in two teams trying to do challenges, trying to verse each other. There was a bit of drama about one of the tasks that um, oh yeah, Noki and Chanel were the two queen ants, and Chanel had picked three guys to do one task, but Noki picked two guys and a girl, Olivia, and then Olivia kept going, "Oh, Chanel, so sexist, picking all the guys," and something like that, and then I think what happened was Olivia and Trish were stirring the pot a little bit, and I think it got a bit too much for Chanel, and she said, "Stop, enough's enough." Even though I think they were just messing around. I don't think it was too serious, but I think Chanel kind of took it to heart a little bit. But the shopping task was had some funny moments. My favourite part was then when Kerry needed the loo and she didn't have anybody in her team to look after any of the eggs, and no one from the other team would call in anybody in the house to look after the eggs, and then Yin Ran came in and says, uh, "Don't worry, I'm gonna steal one of your eggs." And then that's it. "Oh, feel the ripple of the water. A good bladder is a healthy bladder," or something like that. She said, "Don't worry, I'm gonna steal one of your eggs," as a Yin Ran Ray. And then Kerry just got really, really mad and screamed. It was actually quite funny, actually. Well, and all of that, and they failed the shopping task because they were 11 seconds out in one of the tasks, so they got a comedy. I can't say this word. Economy shopping budget. That's it. For the second week in a row. Um, what else this week? Um, we had a little task in tonight's episode about um they had to go on this pathway that looked like a bit of a runway, and they had to step on the squares, and they had to step on the right squares. If they stepped on the wrong square, or go diagonally, or go backwards, or something like that, they get squirted or painted, or something happens. Messy happens, and yeah, it was good fun. Only 8 managed to complete it and went to a VIP party, which was very fun to see the housemates have some music to dance with. Um, so yeah, that was a bit fun, and then there was a bit of drama about who was going to go in the shower first. Kerry wanted to go first because she didn't want to slip over in the shower, but then Dylan was in there first, and he said he would be very quickly, and he said that there's two disabled housemates in their house, and he's one of them, so they're both in the same boat. Yeah, it got a little bit bicky, and and then yeah, Kerry got a bit emotional in tonight's episode as well, which is a bit sad to see. Um, and also, nominations happened this week, and oh boy, they happened. Three people are up. Interestingly, 12 housemates got a vote out of 14. Only Jordan and Yinran did not receive any votes from of any housemates. And all throughout the series, the only housemate not to receive a single nomination so far from any of the nominations that has taken place is Yinran. She has never received a single vote yet. But could that all change? Because what happened is that she accidentally broke one of the rules this week. She accidentally talked about nominations and didn't even realize she was breaking the rules. And it was just so brutal, Big Brother, to do that to her and say, somebody's been breaking the rules. That person is Yinran. Her reaction was like, what? Me? Huh? Like, even she didn't believe it. Because she talked to Henry about what way she does her nominations, and then they cancelled her votes, and that made it would have been just Hallie and Trish up the public votes. Instead, it's now Hallie, Trish, and Dylan. I've still got my hands from last week. Three people are now up, and poor Yin had to go to jail, and then she got really upset. Why me? I do. I mean, bless her. I just don't. I think why she was quite upset was because I don't think she was expecting it, and maybe she found it quite embarrassing as well. Because it's not like Ian Rand, and she didn't deliberately mean it. It wasn't like Hallie or Olivia from the previous week where they deliberately broke the rules and knew they were going to do it. I think with Yinran, she didn't. She didn't mean to. I thought it was a bit unfair to punish her and to cancel her votes. I think maybe that was a bit harsh on Big Brother to do that to Yinran, but it was nice to see, though. The good thing about that is that it was good to see the other housemates get behind her and support her and know she is not alone and she does have people that do like her in the house. So yes, that has happened this week. So yes, Hallie, Trish, and Dylan are up for the public vote. So let's go through them one by one and see who could be out of that house this week. Let's start off with Hallie. Oh, I like Hallie. I think what she's been through in her life, I think Big Brother, she needed Big Brother. Going through her transition and being an 18-year-old and discovering who she really is. I think this is an experience that I think she needs to experience, like being around other people, appreciating who she is. That's all great. I think, unfortunately, with Hallie, I think sometimes she can get a bit. She does, like Kerry, throw tantrums a little bit. We, we did see a little bit of a going a bit too far towards Jenkin, like touching him and then mentioning in his name, and then yeah, I think she pushed it a little bit too far with Jenkin the other night. I think really what happened is I think she had a bit too much to drink a little bit. Um, yeah, but I mean I know she can be a bit of a handful sometimes, but I do think this experience is what she needs, and I thought like it would be upsetting to go because she has she's great fun. She can be great fun in the house when she can be in a good mood. But yeah, sometimes she can throw a bit of a strop. Sometimes she doesn't get her own way and doesn't like it. Then usual 18-year-old. But when she's good, and I do like her, and I think it is important to have someone like her in the house, and it'd be a shame if we lose her. Oh, I don't know how the public are going to respond. Has she done enough to save herself? I don't know. Another one, Trish. is up this week. I don't mind Trish as well. I think she brings great opinions to the house. She's also great fun. I like the relationship with some of the housemates, with Yinran, towards Henry, someone you wouldn't expect someone like Trish to get along with, does. Even Jordan gets along. So, and for some reason, some housemates feel uncomfortable around her, and I don't know why. I mean, she is an outspoken person, but so are some other housemates unspoken, and people don't feel uncomfortable. I don't understand why people don't like Trish in the house. I don't. I dread to say, like, could it be a race thing? It's a bit like you remember Alexandra Burke when she did Strictly, and then people complained, "Oh, why is she keep on crying? Why she's crying?" And then the public never really seemed to get her in the telephone. She ended up being in dance-offs. I know Strictly and Big Brother are two different things, but I do wonder. I do wonder, in like the public vote, is it a race thing? And I don't want it to be like. Oh, same with Noki. She's been quite emotional, and people in the house haven't really truly understand that, and I just don't know. Let's not bring that in, but I don't want that to affect results. But let's talk about Dylan. Dylan, has been quite quiet the first couple of weeks, and only this week he's really come alive like a love wave. No, I digress. Anyway, back on track. Dylan, yes, especially at the start of the week, Trish and Dylan had a bit of an argument in the kitchen about chicken and that. And then even in this exclusive clip we saw on Late and Live tonight, they also had another row in the kitchen. It's just like, oh gosh. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, Dylan is also someone, you know, someone that you could have a good laugh with, somebody you can have a good conversation with, someone that, seems like a nice guy. But he does feel things in the house that, leaving the toilet seat up is like, and his attitude towards that was just not nice towards Olivia, I thought. I thought that wasn't a very gentleman way about dealing with that. I think he was trying to be funny, but came across as a bit, ugh. Um, yeah, I don't think some of the things that he's done hasn't done well. I think he- I know he likes to cook and that, but I think he's overguarding the kitchen. I think the kitchen is getting a bit stressed. If you can't stand the heat, get out the kitchen. I think after Zach got evicted last week, he lost his friend. I think he's lost his way, and now he's up for the public vote this week. I think he's kind of losing it a little bit in that house, unfortunately. Um, I don't know. I mean, when he said he was entering the house, he was said, "Oh, I'm going to inject fun." Turns out there's a lot more other housemates that are injecting fun. I mean, I'm sorry, you have Yinran, you have Hallie, you have Trish. Even in a good day and in a good mood, even Kerry can inject some fun. So, I don't know, I don't know. In any case, who will be evicted? Who's going to get the chop this week? Uh, Hallie, Trish, or Dylan? I think Dylan's going to avoid it. I think it's going to be between the two women. Between the two girls, I think it's usually when it comes to evictions, usually it's the girls that go out first, really. When it's because well, every year the first housemate that gets evicted is always a lady, apart from 2016, but we won't go on about that. Um, yeah, I think it's between Hallie and Trish. And I wonder because we don't not going to get that many evictions this series because the series is quite short because they started it in October. I do wonder if they're going to surprise us and do a double eviction and say, "Do you fancy another one?" I bet you they could do that. The only thing is they would have to do it if they're going to do a double eviction. They have to do it at the same time because they have the interview on a different show late live than just doing it on a main program. But anyway, if it is a single eviction, who do I think it's going to be? Now, if this theory about the screen they see of all 16 housemates, that the bottom row, you know, housemates have been Farida and Zach have been on that bottom row, and who else is on that bottom row? Olivia and Trish. So it's this theory that the housemates that get evicted every week gonna go from the bottom. The first four housemates are gonna be from the bottom row. It's like it's so that's what I'm thinking. Like, could it be Trish? Is superstition right? Is it gonna be Trish gonna be evicted? Oh, I don't know. I don't want either Hanny or Trish to go. In my view, I could live without seeing Dylan in the house. I wouldn't mind him evicting, but it's not up to me. Finally, I'm going on about 16 minutes now. I think it's going to be Hallie. I could be completely wrong. I think her tantrum's easy target to vote out, and she hasn't had the best week this week. Well, it's going to be Hallie. There, I've said it. Hallie will be evicted, sadly, which is a shame because I think we need a character like her in the house. But in any case, who do you think is going to be evicted third? Who's going to be the third housemate evicted? Comment down below in the comment section below, like and subscribe this video. And I will be back for more content very soon. So then, goodbye, people, goodbye.